Hi everyone, I'm Ellie, founder of Code of the Future, and in today's video I'm going to be continuing with the Matplotlib tutorial series by showing you legends, labels and fonts in Matplotlib in PyCharm. So as usual, I'm going to put my glasses on and I'll move you onto the screen. Okay, awesome. So we're picking up where we last left off. So the previous video we looked at plotting more than one graph on a plot, and when we ran it, it produced this wonderful plot that is going to be shown. Here we go. This very, very crazy plot. So in the previous video I showed you how you can do that, and in today's video what we're going to be looking at, and I'll just type it in here, and now what we're going to be looking at are legends, labels and fonts. So legends come in really handy when you want to interpret your graph, tell the reader what it is that you're plotting on your graph. Labels are handy just to label the x and y axis so you know what's going on, and fonts are just always really cool because it means you can tailor your plot to look as nice as you want it to. So what we're going to start by doing is creating some new arrays again. So what I might just do is we're just going to comment these here out, just because we don't want this to interfere with anything we do today, because obviously you saw that when I ran this previously it popped up with this on the screen, and we don't want that today, so we'll just stop that from running. And now we're going to move on to creating a new array. So what I might do is I might just copy this section here. So we'll put it here and I'll just unhashtag it. Awesome. So now when I run this Python file, we will hopefully, awesome. Now what, so we've still got this little bit here, and that's because I haven't hashtagged it out up above. Here we go. So I'll just make sure that's hashtagged out. Awesome. And now if I rerun it, hopefully we'll just get these, there we go, this line here. So these kind of coordinates here. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 80, 40, and then I think that was 192. Awesome. So that's a standard plot. Now I'm going to show you how we can add a legend on it, and how we can also add, labels, and change the font size and change the fonts that we want on here. So all you're going to do before you do this plot.show, now remember this has to be done last. So if I was to write anything beyond this plot.show, it wouldn't show it on this specific plot. So just bear in mind that when you go to do some Matplotlib, whenever you do plot.show, that is the very last thing you're going to code. That's the last thing you're going to say. So here, what I'm going to show you is how to do an x and y label. And it's very, very simple. You're just going to put plt.xlabel, and notice it comes up. And let's say, let's say our x label is shoe size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change things slightly here, because obviously these are very unlikely figures for shoe size, so I'll just change these to, let's say we'll have 5, 8 and 10, and then we'll have heights, so we'll say 160, 180, and this is in centimetres, and let's say 200 centimetres. So let's have a look. So plot x label, which will be the A here, will be shoe size. So if I rerun this Python file, hopefully what will happen is it will write shoe size. Awesome. So can you see down here we have shoe size. Cool. So this is the default text in Matplotlib. I love this default text. I think it's very nice and very easy to read. It's not it's not too fancy that it gets complicated. It's very simple and very nice to read, and it also matches up with the kind of fonts for the labels as well. So that's the X label, and I bet you guessed it, for the Y label it's exactly the same but Y label. So let's say this is heights, and we'll just put here in centimetres, or I'll just put centimetres. So we'll rerun this and hopefully we'll have an X and Y label now. Awesome. So we've got heights here and shoe size here, and you can put in here, let's say UK size guide, because I appreciate that it's different in every country. I think is shoe size, it's different, like the size guides are different. So there, this kind of explains what kind of shoe size and what you're measuring it in. So we've done X and Y labels, so that's very, very easy. So I'll just put plotting an X and Y label. Now what I'm going to show you is how you can plot a legend. So I honestly love legends, I'm not going to lie. You may wonder what a legend is, and it's essentially a little key that you have. So up here we will have a little thing, and it will say this is what this blue line represents. So let's say A and B here, let's say these are the, let's say, measurements from, let's say from I want to say year 11, but if Americans watch this, every year is completely different. So let's just say from class 1, let's say we have a class and it's the first class that gets measured. So that's these here, these figures. So let's say there's only 3 people in class 1. Okay, so that's the measurements from class 1, and then we're going to plot class 1. So I'll just put here plot class 1. Now, what I'm going to show you is something called legend, and very simply, all you need to do is when you have your little plt.plot, you're just going to put label equals and then whatever it is. So in our case, this is class 1. So we can run this and it won't plot the legend, and that is because before the plt.show, you need to just put plt.legend, and all this will do is it will plot the legend. So I'll just put here plot legend. Now the reason why I assume this only works when you do plot.legend, and it's very handy because it means that you can just plot simply without a legend. You know, you can have all these labels in, and it's, you know, can have like so many different classes, 10 class size, and all have labels, and then the plt.legend just plots them all. So I'll show you what happens. We will stop that running and rerun again. Awesome, look at that. Right here it says class 1. We've got shoe size and we've got heights. So what I'm going to show you now is how we can, you know, change this if there are 2 plots. So let's say this is, you know, the measurements from class 1. Okay, so let's say that's the measurements from class 1 here, and we'll do one for class 2, and I'll just separate them so we kind of understand what's going on. So let's say these are the measurements for class 2, and let's change things slightly. So let's say class 2 has smaller shoe size, so 3, 5, let's say we've got an 8 in there, and let's say the heights are also smaller, so let's say 150, 160, and 170. I have no idea what the heights these actually are. I think I was 162 when I last measured myself, and I'm quite small, so don't quote me on these figures. I'm not entirely sure if they're, you know, correlated, but either way. So let's say plot class 2. So all we're going to do is we're going to change the label to class 2. Now, default in Python, if you remember from when I did the different plots, Python will plot different colours automatically. If you have 2 different plots, or, you know, multiple plots, each plot will be a different colour, and there are a whole range of different colours in Python, so you can just allow it to have the default colour, which is what I'll show you now. So if I just run this, I believe it's orange and blue. Yeah, awesome. Okay, awesome. So we've got orange and blue here. So you may be thinking, why are we doing line graphs? Again, we can change this to scatter. So all you do here is you just put, and the way that we make it a scatter graph is you can either change this to plot.scatter, which is, I think, probably the easiest option. It reminds you that you are plotting a scatter graph. So we'll just rerun this and show you what happens, and the colours will be, you know, exactly the same. Awesome. So what this has done here is it said, okay, we're missing a blue. Did I have 2 blues that are the same? 5 and 160. Okay, so I'll just change that to 155 for the video, just so we can see all of the the scatter plots. Okay, cool, there we go. So what you can see is we've got little scatters, and we can see that the orange dots here, which is class 2, are smaller, have kind of smaller shoe size and height, whereas class 1 have larger. So I love the legend. Honestly, it makes things so much easier and allows you to actually understand kind of what's going on. So yeah, pretty cool. So there we go. So that is legends and kind of labeling axes. And now a very important thing that we need to do is plot the title. So this can go anywhere. This is, you know, usually anytime you do a label, and I'll just put in here and title, XY label, legend and title. I don't know why I did a capital letter there. We'll just get rid of that. Okay, awesome. So anytime you write the plot here, you know, you have to do your X and label and your legend and title after you've plotted it. So we're just going to say PLT, and it's very simple, title. And we're just going to say shoe size, let's say, put capital letters, shoe size versus height for 2 classes. And we'll run this. Awesome, there we go. And we've got a little title up top. How cool is that? Okay, so that is the, you know, essence of how you do heights and shoe size, and that is the essence of how you do X and Y labels, legends, you know, changing colours again, and titles. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is just show you how you can change the font type when you do plot. So that will just be changing what this will look like here. So the way that we do that, and we will just pop it in here, and we'll say changing kind of the fonts. So, you know, colour, font itself, size, etc. So all I'm going to say is we're going to say font 1. We'll do one font just to show you the example. So we're going to say in here, it's going to be squiggly brackets. So essentially what we put in here is we start with family. Now what family means is this is the font that you want. So I don't know if Helvetica is built into here, but I think what I'll do is I'll just say, we'll do one that I definitely know works, so serif. So this is going to do the font serif. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's do the size. So I will say size, colon, and let's say we want size, or let's say 23, something crazy like that. And then we want the colour, so we'll have the colour in here, and we will say, let's have the colour red. Awesome. So we've got some squiggly lines under here, and that's just because Python's telling us that it wants some spaces after it. That's fine, that's PyCharm. Good formatting there from PyCharm. So we've got this one font, and all we're going to do is we're going to just put it into the title. So let's say we want to change the font of the title. We're going to say font dict is going to be our font 1. Okay, so let's run this, and let's see what the title looks like. Let's have a look. Whoa, cool, look at that. Awesome. So there we go, massive title. And similarly you can do the same for the others. So let's say we do want the exact same, you know, parameters for our X and Y labels. So let's have font 1 again in here, and comma, and we'll have font dict equals font 1. We'll pause this, we'll rerun it. Awesome, look at that, huge. Red is very bright, I must admit, but it's honestly so cool. How cool is that? So there we have it. That is exactly how you change the kind of labels, the font size, all of that cool stuff on your plot, and I think it honestly looks incredible. So in today's video we have gone over how to plot X and Y labels, legends, a title, also how you can change, you know, around the font style, font size, font colour, all these things of those labels, and create a pretty cool looking plot on here. So that has been the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give this video a big thumbs up, and if you want to support the channel even further, then hit the subscribe button and the bell notification with it so you don't miss out on any future videos, and also check out the donation link in the description of this video. But for now, I will see you all in the next video.